Hey guys, given that it's the first day of summer, I thought I'd post a video on how to cook a summer treat that's often overlooked, and that's fried green tomatoes. A lot of people think they might be too tangy, too tart, or it's weird because it's a green tomato, but actually done right, they're quite delightful. First thing you want to do is find green tomatoes. If they don't have them at your local store, find a local fruit stand or something like that, a farmer's market. This time of year they're going to have green tomatoes. I typically get 3. That's going to make 10 to 12 good portions of fried green tomatoes. When you get home, wash them off, of course. But the first thing you want to do before anything else is cut your tomatoes into slices and sections that are about a ½ inch or a little less. Don't go any less than that, because that's going to make them kind of limp and weak, and no one likes limp and weak. Anyways, once you get them cut and put on your cutting board, take a mixture of half salt, half sugar, and lightly sprinkle both sides and let them rest for about 10 minutes. What this is going to do is it's going to bring out the acid and make the tomatoes sweat, so when you put it in the initial AP flour, it's going to adhere good before you put it in the dredge. So let's get started. I've already got mine sliced and set. They've been resting for about 10 minutes. First thing you want to do, go ahead and just take your egg, ½ cup of buttermilk, ½ cup of pale ale. Wheat will work good too. I like pale ale. It adds to the tart. I put about a ½ cup in there and then drink the rest. Mix that generously. What you want to do is make sure everything is combined. You have no egg left over. I do this first so it can rest for about 2-3 minutes while I'm mixing everything else. It lets everything just kind of marry together. Check your oil, bring it down a little bit. Okay, next we're actually going to do the breading. What I've got here is a 1/3 cup of flour, ½ cup of cornmeal, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and a ½ teaspoon of salt. Just throw them all in the pot. Put that cracked black in there. Make sure it combines really well. The beep tells me that we're at temperature. You want your oil to be at about 375. That's going to allow it to give a nice golden coating on the outside and not make it mushy inside. So it's not necessarily a flash fry, but it's pretty close. So I've got everything combined. Go ahead and let that rest for a second. Take a drink of whiskey, beer, whatever you got. I got beer tonight, whiskey's later. Okay, the first thing you want to do is, a lot of times you will take your tomato and put it in the dredge first, but we had them sweat out, so we can put it straight into the AP flour. Make sure it's all-purpose flour. Make sure it coats it really well. From there, go straight into the dredge and straight into the breading. When you put it in the breading, flip it several times, throw it on top, press it into the tomato. You want to make sure that it gets coated very well. It's not going to coat the sides very well because it's a slick surface, but when it's done, it should look something like that. Set that over there. For the sake of the video, I'm only going to do 3 of them, and then I'll show you what the end product looks like. For a finishing sauce on this, what I like to do is take mayo, and I mean real mayo. You can take chipotle salsa and blend it together, and it makes a great chipotle mayo for a dipping sauce. However, there is a trick. Get chipotle Tabasco, get your favorite mayo, flavor it to taste, mix it together. It marries so good with these tomatoes. So we got one more to go, and at this point, if you don't have monster fingers, you're not doing it right. Start over or quit. Get this one in here, run through the dredge, straight into the breading. Like I said, you want your temperature of your oil to be at about 350, 375. 350, you're going to have to cook them a little long, so I suggest 375. That way they still stay firm and a good snap when you bite into it. Okay, so those are ready. Yep, we're at temperature, we're about 374, so we're going to go ahead and let those set for a couple seconds, and then I'm going to throw them into the fryer. Once you put them in here, this is very important. You want to make sure that when you drop them in, you have a ring of bubbles all the way around. Pretty rapid. That tells you that you're at the proper temperature. These are going to vary. A lot of recipes say that you can do it for 2 to 3 minutes per side. I don't agree with that because it's not going to cook the tomato enough. You're going to cook the breading and not the tomato itself. So I let them sit for about 3 to 5 minutes, depending. The way to judge is let them set. When you see a brown ring halfway up on the tomato, take a fork, lift it up. You're going to see what that underside looks like. If it's not golden brown enough, put it back down. Important thing, don't flip them more than once. Cook one side till it's ready and flip it. If you keep flipping it, it's going to make it taste like oil when it's done. No one likes oil. So, anyways, for the sake of the video, I'm not going to have you sit here and watch me cook this. What you should have in the end are fried green tomatoes with a chipotle mayo sauce that I guarantee everyone is going to love. It's delightful.